At this zoom level, Linköping doesn't show up. So they go north because they don't know where it is. So they don't know Sweden at all. And then they zoom in a tiny bit and they see it down here. Hi, and welcome to another Geoguessr investigations video. So I recorded a video a few days ago, which I released, and I had quite a lot of fun swinging the gavel of justice, if that's what you do. And I decided to make another video with some more reviews. So as I mentioned in the last video, I think there are a few things that I would improve. If I come across other things that would make it better, I will point them out. But I think I pointed out most of the things I've already thought about. One thing as well, when I play my ranked games this week, I am going to play some moving, some no move, and some no move panel zoom. Because one thing, I haven't played moving duel for a long time, but it would be good to just get a sense of how I would play again and see if that affects my judgment when I do more reviews. So let's get started and let's see what we get. For me, this looks like Sweden, but I could be wrong, but just with these dotted lines, I would guess Sweden straight away. This is a moving game as well, so let's see what they find. Yeah, definitely Sweden. Oh, that's a bit weird. When did they select? That's really odd. So you have Blekinge, which is either region or town. Yeah, Blekinge is a county. And I'm pretty sure that was straight on the right location. And then they guessed way off. And they didn't even zoom in to see where they were. So let's just have a look at this one again, because this is straight away really odd. Okay, yeah, it's... popped up with the location even before they moved around, so they had already selected the location. This is a location I might have been able to 4K in moving. No, sorry, not 5K. That's the one I'm looking for. Maybe not. I can't see Lille anywhere. I am confident that they are guilty of scripting. Not guilty of googling. Also, they changed the order of these now. Before you had insufficient evidence in the beginning. Now that's a more of a middle way. I think that's from feedback. Okay, I'm pretty sure we found a cheater there. Next one, immediate thoughts. So one thing as well, I obviously spent some time thinking about it before I guess. So we have the sun to the south. I mean, I would have almost guessed Mexico just based on this, but we have no number plates in front here, so maybe even Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. I'm not sure if that's a Dominican Republic flag, but let's have a look. Oh no, this is Brazil. So I've seen this one on Geoguessr once, I think. I think they submitted a verdict of not guilty, and I agree with that. You have the Brazilian state name in big letters, and let's cancel this. I mean, I don't speak Portuguese, but I think I would guess. I mean, that's a company. I think that's Docs of Ciara or Chiara. I don't know how to pronounce it. And as you can see, they go straight into the biggest city, which is Fortaleza. They're not too busy or too concerned with getting an exact guess. They just go for the bigger city and hope they're right. That's how I interpret the actions. It was a moving game as well, but yeah, definitely not guilty there. Initial thoughts, this is no move. It's India. Let's have a look. I'm driving on the right. That's a bit odd. So maybe not India, maybe South America somewhere. Oh, Cambodia, I didn't think of that. So let's have a look, because I went into the South China Sea. One thing, we can't see the mouse movements, so it is possible they see the drive on the right. I wouldn't say that's scripting, because at no time do they have the curve or have the selection on the exact position. If you remember the Philippines round from my first video, there was someone, they selected the correct location, and then there was a lot of clicking around before they selected away from it. Here it looks like as they zoom in, they click somewhere and then they click somewhere else while zooming more in, and then they select Cambodia. I don't think this is scripting. I don't think it's definitely not Googling. I'm gonna go definitely not guilty for Googling. If it is scripting, it's a good script that goes not too close. Should I leave it at insufficient evidence, or should I leave it not guilty? I'm a bit in between. That. I don't think there's anything suspicious with the moving. I think it's just a case of region guessing or region clicking and while you're zooming in. I think I do that sometimes as well. Okay, this is in Argentina. I think Peter had this one as well. One thing with another round that Peter had, which was the Uppsala one, which I also had not yesterday, in the last video. One thing there is that Peter's video was edited. I deliberately not edited my playback because I want everyone else to see the exact time. So I can't remember if the time they're spending on a poster here is longer than I initially thought. So let's have a look. This is also moving, so they are moving. One thing here, I'm going to pause because we're all of a sudden skipping to a completely different location. So I'm not sure exactly where they're moving. So there's something missing from this recording, I think. So let's see if there aren't really any clues there. So this is one of the things that I know GeoPeter said was quite suspicious. When commenting on his video, I said I didn't find it suspicious because I would probably spend a good few seconds trying to see if I could find anything, because the writing isn't that clear, and there are like 20 different fonts. So let's see how long they spend looking at these posters. So let's start. So that was almost 20 seconds. That's quite a long time. I don't remember how close they were. I know GeoPeter did say that they were guilty of Googling. I don't think there's sufficient evidence of it. Again, this is something I mentioned in the first video. I think you need more context, because you don't know how good they are. You don't know how they usually play. I wouldn't be able to get any information just from this to say that it was in Argentina, but there are lots of other clues, especially the number plate. So I'm going to say no scripting and insufficient evidence on Googling. I'm not going to go guilty, because I don't think that gives enough information that Googling would help. So that's my verdict here. Initial guess here for me, bit tough. Maybe past South America. Where's the sun? The sun is to the north. Somewhere in South America, I would say. Let's watch it before I submit the verdict. Oh no, Malaysia. No, Indonesia, I mean, sorry. Okay, that's fairly suspicious, I think. Okay, that's my master. I don't think I would have found it. Do we see where the other person guessed as well here? I think we do. Okay, let's just have a look to see how long they looked at it. I mean, you would be able to Google in this time. They spend about 10 seconds. Yeah, so about 10 seconds they spent. They go into Borneo first. Okay, my Marsa is, you don't have to zoom that far in before it pops up. So at that zoom level, it does pop up. Because I don't speak Indonesian, I struggle with these posters here because I know I know there is usually some information of where you are, but I can never remember which part is the town name. And I could see myself easily look at this for 5-10 seconds. And then they zoom in and find it straight away. But the interesting thing here is that it looks like the other person also gets the same place. So if you have someone who gets the town and you get the town yourself, and you then report them for cheating, there's something suspicious there. Because that, to me, suggests that either there's an extreme difference in rating, and you're a highly rated player playing against a very lowly rated player, and you think that, okay, because they're a lowly rated player, they are not able to find it. But even the best players were probably low rated when they started out, and it could be someone who's been playing Geoguessr for a long time and play a lot of maps, but don't play it in a competitive way. So they play only single player games. You never know. So that's one of the reasons why it would be interesting to see how much they played, how they normally played, etc. The other alternative is that there's someone who's around the same rating and was only able to find the location themselves by cheating, by googling, and then because the other person found it, they decided to report them. Scripting, not googling, insufficient evidence for me here. I'm not going to say they're not guilty, but I personally could easily have looked at this for 5-10 seconds and then, okay, go into somewhere in Indonesia and buy somewhere else. So yeah, I don't think there's enough evidence to say that they are actually guilty. Okay, this one looks like India, just based on the blur and how they're dressed. This is no move, so unless there is some writing there, so you could probably region guess it within India. So let's have a look. Okay, nothing suspicious there. I would have guessed a tiny bit further south, but just to cover more bases. But yeah, absolutely nothing suspicious at all. Even a player with very low rating, I would expect them to guess this. Okay, this is moving. There's already a sign here, which I think is Slovenia, but it could be Serbia, Croatia as well. But the LJ is something you see, at least in Slovenia. Anyway, let's see how they play. Okay, this one as well was in Geopeter's video. I don't spend much time. So they don't spend. No, this wasn't in Geopeter. It was in Zigzags, I think. How much time do they actually spend looking at that before they open the map? So about 5 seconds. One thing there is, you can see there's some Cyrillic. You can also see there's some English. Initially looking at this, I did say Serbia, Slovenia, or Croatia. Thinking about it, because it's hilly and very green, I would totally discount Croatia. Also because this is a white sign. I was a bit hesitant when I first said Slovenia. So I would say Serbia is more likely, and you don't know if they. I mean, they could have googled Babin Zub, but. Hard to tell. Also, this is another thing that I mentioned in my first video. So this is how much I can see with the map open up this much. I don't know how much they open the map, what zoom level or what size they have on the map. So it could be that they are running a lower resolution and the map would cover the whole thing. That's why they go back to have a look at the place. Slightly suspicious maybe that that they go back and look for it for a while and then they would just region guess here. But to be fair, if I thought it was in Serbia, I would guess in this area. I don't even know if there's enough information there. So, not scripting, insufficient evidence for Googling. Okay, initial impressions here is that we are in Brazil. Don't know where. Let's have a look. A long straight road in Brazil. It's a no move as well. You just get somewhere in Brazil. Okay, so let's have a look. I don't like this. What I don't like, again, I did mention, whenever they click somewhere, it would be good to be able to open that location to see if it's actually really close to where we are. So this is what I mean. I've done it before, but this is quite close to. So this guess here, or that click there is really close to where it actually is. Okay, it is on the same zoom level. I have to put something on my screen just so I can see if it's exactly the same. No, it's not. So the actual location is slightly north of where they first put a marker down. So that could be a coincidence. I don't necessarily like all this jumping around, but I can see myself doing the same. Again, it's a shame you can't see the mouse movements. So I am, say, not guilty for Googling and also not guilty for scripting because that first guess wasn't actually where the location actually was. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so with these stairs, actually, I don't have to look at those stairs. I can just look at the text there. So this is moving. We're in Turkey somewhere. Let's have a look. The one thing as well, I mean, the Turkish flags, they've already gone for Samsung. We did earlier see the sea in the background as well. And now they are selecting somewhere else. I think that's fair. They're not spending much time looking around. But you see here, when they come out to the main road, you can see the sun to the north. So I think that's legitimate. They went for the wrong city first, and then after looking around a bit more, they found a city name and went for the right one. Okay, are we in the US or Canada? I think Canada, but let's have a look. This is no move as well. There's a .ca on there. Probably looking to see if there's anything French. How long are they looking at this sign? That's... I don't like them looking at that sign for that long. I would say that's more likely to be Googling. Because it's not a logical sign to look at. Well, it could easily have been... I think maybe bent car is too obvious or too common a name. Because one thing is, so this one, there's a few more suspicious things here. So one is, they can see that they are in North America. And then, I mean, as I said before, initially I thought it was Canada, and then there's a .ca there, so that kind of confirms it. I can't see any information regarding Winnipeg there. Then it looks like they're focusing on the real estate signs, which is not really something that would give you any information unless you were to Google it. And then there's focus on real estate science here again. I look at it for about 17-18 seconds before going to Winnipeg, and I go straight for Winnipeg. Okay, no scripting, Googling. Okay. Okay. Swedish, so in Sweden. Let's have a look to see how they do. Here I would go Gothenburg maybe, or Stockholm, or one of the other cities in between. Okay, there, this is. Yeah, this is not a good one. So the problem I have here is that when they get to so there's no indication so far from anything they've seen that this is in Linköping, and unless you know if it's in Linköping, you would necessarily focus on some street names. You have two distinct street names here. So the next thing is so they look at Bjälkegatan and you have Engelbrektsgatan. So if you see how long they look at it, so yeah, so just over 10 seconds. So they most likely have Googled it. But the thing is, they don't. So at this zoom level, Linköping doesn't show up. So they go north because they don't know where it is. So they don't know Sweden at all. And then they zoom in a tiny bit and they see it down here. So they might have guessed it was Sweden beforehand. There are loads of other clues. But they clearly don't know Sweden, and because they focus on the street names, and they don't even know where Linköping is. So as soon as they see Linköping on the map, then they zoom into it. So that's, I think that's definitely Googling. Okay, I'm going to do one more. If this is one I haven't seen before. If this is one I've seen before, then I'm going to do another one after that. North America, I think I might have seen this. Canada, maybe. So, as you can see, obviously a moving game. So Canada, because it's maximum, not speed limit on that sign. Or is it the other way? No, it is Canada, isn't it? Yeah, so I've seen this one before. It is a bit... The movement doesn't really make any sense. If I've seen the Billings, I would go to Billings. Which is in Montana? So not Canada. No, it's in New Brunswick. Yeah, so I was right about Canada the first time. Let's see, is there anything... again, you don't know how good they are. I mean, they are playing... what was I say, moving. I mean, there's loads of Googleable things, but I spend a lot of time altogether. They go for New Brunswick. I tend to guess more in this area, like Ontario, or I don't guess as much in New Brunswick or Nova Scotia or Newfoundland and Labrador. But I don't think there's enough evidence of Googling here. Don't think there's guilty of scripting. So because I've seen that one before, let's have a look at the next one. I mean, that looks like Brazil to me, but I could be wrong. They're looking at the soil. They're looking at the poles. Could also be somewhere I never guessed, which is Cambodia. Hey, definitely no Googling, but I don't think it's scripting either. I think the first click is clearly way off, and then they zoom in and they manage to get a lot closer, but that could be a coincidence. So not guilty, and then scripting. Should I go insufficient evidence or not guilty here? I'm going to go not guilty for this one. Okay, I'm going to do one final one. Unless there's one I've seen before, which this might well be. Sun is to the north-ish. Mainly to the east. But this is somewhere I would guess someone like Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay. Okay, I've seen this one before as well. There's a water tower there, Conagua. That's but that was the one in Campeche, so they went for Uruguay first. And then they look at Campeche for ages. Thing is, there's a lot of movement here. So this is in Mexico. There's a Takis, which is a snack coming in. I think it's a Mexican snack. Not entirely sure. There's also a flag there, which I didn't notice. I don't think they noticed it either. But I've not noticed it before. When I looked at this, I think, was this one in GeoPeter's video, or was it in Zigzag's? Those are the two videos I watched. So there's a Mexican flag there, is there? Yeah, I think there's a Mexican flag there. I might have noticed it, but I didn't zoom into it. I know they guess pretty close, but because they're moving all the time, I think it's unlikely that they are Googling, unless they have someone with them Googling as well. So, no scripting, insufficient evidence of Googling. I'd seen that one before. Let's see if I can get a new one. This is the kind of location I don't know. For me, I could guess. Oh, this is a no move, pan and zoom as well. So if you play no move, pan and zoom in ranked, you are at least in the Master 2 division. So you would normally be highly ranked. Brazil maybe, but I could easily guess Asia here. There's no way you can Google this, I think. Okay, they guess Peru. I mean, I've seen locations like this in Peru before. They were quite far away. They went straight into Peru and guessed quite far away. I mean, you could have, you could obviously look up guardrails in South America, but I think that's a bit far-fetched. I definitely guessed Peru for rounds where you had this kind of hill, but the combination with the trees next to the road, I would probably guess Brazil for this. But not scripting, I would say, and I would say not guilty of Googling. Okay, that was the last one for now. To be fair, I could probably be doing this for hours, but I think I'll leave it there. I think that's been about 45 minutes. So, as always, if you like these videos and would like to see some more, please consider subscribing to the channel, also hitting the like button and leaving a comment. And I shall see you again for the next time I'm going to be trying to catch some cheaters. Bye for now.